chosen ones. They thought they could shut you out forever. But what they don't know is that when one door closes, God opens an even greater one. They whispered behind your back, conspired in the shadows, and did everything they could to ensure you would never rise. They slammed the doors, locked them tight, and threw away the key, believing they had the final say over your destiny. But what they failed to realize is that no human power can stop the divine plan written over your life. They thought they had silenced you, but they only set the stage for your grandest entrance. The very doors they shut in your face were never your destination to begin with. God had something far greater in store. For too long, you felt the sting of rejection. You've knocked on doors that refused to open, begged for opportunities that never came, and waited in frustration as others moved forward while you remained in place. But hear this, what seemed like delay was actually divine protection. Every closed door was God's way of saying, "Not this one. Not yet. I have something better for you." When people deny you access, they think they're in control, but they forget God holds the master key. Right now, something is shifting in the spiritual realm. The doors that were once locked are beginning to creak open. Opportunities that were withheld are making their way back to you, this time with even greater blessings attached. You are stepping into a season where every no you received will be overturned by divine favor. The people who dismissed you will have no choice but to watch as you walk into places they swore you'd never reach. You see, chosen one, you were never meant to fit into their limited vision. God had a path uniquely designed for you, and that path required certain doors to remain shut. If those doors had opened too soon, they would have led you to places that couldn't contain your destiny. But now, because you endured, because you remained faithful, the right doors are swinging open. And this time they will not just open, they will open wider than you ever imagined. Stand strong, chosen one. What was denied to you before is coming back with divine approval. Get ready. Your access is no longer restricted. This is your time, and nothing can stop what's coming next. You faced rejection, betrayal, and doors slammed in your face, yet something inside you refused to break. There were moments when it felt like the entire world had turned against you. You extended your hand in kindness, yet it was slapped away. You stood by people in their darkest moments, but when it was your turn to need support, you found yourself standing alone. The very ones you trusted, the ones you believed in, were the same ones who walked away without a second thought. They talked behind your back, plotted against you, and made sure every opportunity that should have been yours slipped through your fingers. It wasn't just one rejection, it was a pattern, a cycle. It seemed like every time you gathered the strength to rise again, another door would slam shut, another betrayal would strike, and another painful lesson would unfold. Yet despite it all, you refused to break. There were nights when the weight of it all was unbearable. You questioned why this kept happening to you. Why did the people you cared for always turn their backs? Why did the doors that opened so easily for others remain locked for you? It wasn't just about missing opportunities. It was the pain of being overlooked, of being cast aside as if you didn't matter. The world made it clear that you weren't welcome in certain places, that no matter how hard you tried, you would always be an outsider. And still, something deep inside you kept pushing forward. While others would have given up, you held on to a silent but unshakable belief that there was more waiting for you beyond these closed doors. Even in your darkest hour, you knew that rejection wasn't the final word over your life. What your enemies didn't understand is that every rejection was actually a redirection. They thought they were stopping you, but in reality, they were pushing you toward something greater. The betrayals you endured weren't meant to destroy you. They were meant to refine you, to strip away the things that no longer served your purpose. Every single no you heard, every closed door, every painful goodbye was part of a larger plan. God was never going to let you settle in a place that wasn't meant for you. If those doors had remained open, you might have walked into something that looked good, but would have ultimately limited your destiny. so he allowed them to close, not to punish you, but to protect you. Now, chosen one, understand this. You were never meant to fit in. You were never meant to walk through doors that others created. Your path has always been different, and that is why the road has been harder. But something powerful is about to happen. The very doors they tried to lock forever will soon burst open, wider than ever before. The people who thought they had successfully shut you out will be forced to watch as you walk into a season of supernatural access. What was denied to you before will return in a way that is undeniable. You won't have to beg. You won't have to chase. The opportunities, the connections, and the breakthroughs meant for you are already in motion, and nothing can stop them now. Every denial was a setup for something greater. God was preparing you for a door no man can shut. You thought the rejections were setbacks. You believed the closed doors were signs that you weren't good enough, that maybe you weren't meant to rise. But what if I told you that every no you received was part of a divine setup? What if I told you that every opportunity you lost, every person who walked away, every path that was blocked, was all leading you towards something far greater than you ever imagined? Chosen one, this was never about your failure. It was about your preparation. God was making sure you were ready, shaping you through the struggles, refining you through the delays. Every single denial was not the end of your journey, but the beginning of something so powerful that no human hand could stop it. Think back to all the times you knocked on doors that refused to open. You prayed, you worked hard, you did everything right, but still, nothing moved in your favor. It felt unfair. It felt as if the universe had conspired against you, keeping you locked out of the very places you longed to be. But what you didn't see in those moments was that God was strategically redirecting you. The doors that closed were never meant to contain you. They were meant to protect you from stepping into something too small for your destiny. Had those doors opened when you wanted them to, you would have settled for far less than what was truly meant for you. You would have built your future in a space that was never designed to hold your greatness. The truth is, the rejection you experienced wasn't about your worth. It wasn't because you weren't qualified or deserving. It was because God had something bigger in mind. He was saving you for a door that no man could control, a door that no enemy could block, a door that would open so wide that no force on earth could ever close it again. And now, after everything you've endured, after every battle, after every painful delay, that door is finally about to be revealed. The shift is already happening. What was once denied to you is coming back in a way that will leave everyone speechless. The same people who rejected you will witness your elevation, and there will be nothing they can do to stop it. Chosen one, understand this. If man had the power to shut you out, they would have the power to keep you there. But they don't. The control they thought they had was only an illusion. They were never in charge of your destiny. God was. And when God declares that it is your time, nothing and no one can stand in the way. The doors that are opening for you now are not the ones controlled by people with limited vision. These are divine doors, heavenly opportunities, supernatural pathways that lead to the abundance, success, and breakthrough you were always meant to receive. This is why you couldn't break. This is why every rejection, every betrayal, and every delay had to happen. It was all preparing you for something greater. And now the moment has arrived. The denials that once discouraged you will soon be forgotten as you step into blessings beyond your wildest dreams. What was once blocked is now being released. The access that was once restricted is now being granted. People underestimated you, thinking they had the final say over your destiny, but divine forces have already spoken. They looked at you and saw only what they wanted to see. Someone they could ignore, someone they could reject, someone who would never rise beyond their expectations. They assumed they held the power, that their opinions, their judgments, and their decisions could determine your future. They laughed behind closed doors, believing they had shut you out permanently. They spoke as if their words could define your destiny, as if their rejection was the final chapter of your story. But what they didn't realize is that their voices were never the ones that mattered. They failed to recognize that a higher power had already declared your victory long before they ever had a chance to deny you. You weren't overlooked by accident. You weren't rejected because you lacked potential. No, God was watching, orchestrating every step, allowing the underestimation, allowing the doubt, because He knew it would make your rise even more powerful. When they shut doors in your face, they thought they were stopping you. What they didn't know was that every single time they pushed you down, God was preparing an even greater comeback. Every delay, every dismissal, every time they left you out, it was all part of a divine setup. They thought they had closed the chapter on your success, but God had already written the next part of your story. Think about how many times they counted you out, how many times they passed you over for promotions, denied you opportunities, or refused to acknowledge your worth. They whispered that you would never make it, that you weren't special enough, talented enough, or strong enough to go beyond the limits they set for you. But here's the truth. They never had the authority to decide your destiny in the first place. They only thought they did because God allowed them to believe they were in control for a time. But now, the time of waiting is over. Now, the season of their false power has ended. Now, the doors they tried to keep closed are being forced open by divine command, and there is nothing they can do to stop it. Chosen one, you were never meant to fit inside the small box they built for you. That is why God didn't allow you to walk through their doors. He was preparing to build a whole new entrance just for you. While they were busy plotting against you, heaven was working in your favor. While they were scheming, God was elevating. And now, the very people who underestimated you will have no choice but to witness your rise. They will see you step into places they swore you would never reach. They will watch as the same doors they shut in your face swing wide open at the command of divine forces. The closed doors were never meant to stop you, only to redirect you to something bigger and better. You stood before doors that seemed like the perfect opportunity, doors that you prayed would open, doors that you believed were part of your destiny. But no matter how hard you tried, no matter how much effort you gave, they remained closed. The people you trusted turned away. The job you wanted slipped through your hands. The relationships you invested in crumbled. At times it felt like life was unfair, as if every path you took led to another rejection. But what you didn't see at the time was that these closed doors were never meant to stop you. They weren't punishments. They weren't signs of failure. They were divine redirections, guiding you away from something smaller, toward something far greater than you could have ever imagined. You may have questioned why certain things didn't work out. You may have looked at others who walked through doors with ease and wondered why your path was different. But what if the rejection you faced was actually your greatest protection? What if God knew that what was behind those doors wasn't meant for you? You see, chosen one, when doors close, it isn't because you aren't worthy. It's because they are too small for the vision God has for your life. Some doors lead to temporary success, but you were never meant for temporary. You were meant for overflow, abundance, and elevation beyond human limits. That is why you weren't allowed to settle. That is why those doors had to shut, so that you wouldn't be trapped in a place that couldn't handle the weight of your destiny. Think about all the moments you were denied what you thought you needed. The times you felt heartbroken over something that slipped away. Looking back, can you see now that those things weren't losses, but redirections? Can you see that if those doors had opened, you wouldn't be in the position you are today? God was never holding you back. He was positioning you for something far greater. And now, the time has come for you to walk through the door that was designed specifically for you. This door isn't controlled by man. It isn't something that can be blocked, delayed, or taken away. This door is supernatural, and once it opens, nothing and no one will be able to close it again. The season of waiting is over. The time of wondering why things didn't work out is coming to an end. You are about to step into the greatest chapter of your life. A chapter where the struggles make sense, where the delays prove their purpose, and where the closed doors of the past are replaced by gates of limitless blessings. The people who once denied you access will be shocked to see what God is about to do for you. They will witness firsthand that what was once blocked has now been completely opened, wider than ever before. Chosen one, the pain of closed doors was never meant to defeat you. It was meant to elevate you. Now the path ahead is clear, and the doors before you are not just opening, they are opening wider than you ever imagined. Get ready. Your breakthrough is here. Right now, the shift is happening. What was locked will open, and what was hidden will be revealed. For so long, you have felt like you were standing in front of a locked door, waiting for the moment it would open. You knocked, you prayed, you believed, yet nothing seemed to change. The people around you seemed to move forward with ease, while you remained stuck in a place that felt like endless waiting. But chosen one, something is shifting in the spiritual realm right now. What was once locked is about to open. The opportunities that were kept from you, the blessings that seemed delayed, the breakthroughs that felt just out of reach, everything is about to change. The doors that were shut so tightly in the past weren't closed forever. They were simply waiting for the right moment, and that moment is now. You see, there was a reason for the waiting. There was a reason why you weren't allowed access before. The things that were hidden from you were not being withheld. They were being prepared. The divine forces that oversee your destiny were aligning every detail, making sure that when the doors finally opened, you would step into something far greater than you ever imagined. What looked like rejection was actually divine redirection. What felt like delay was actually preparation for elevation. The shift that is happening now is not just about doors opening. It is about supernatural access to places that were once completely hidden from you. Think about it. How many times did you wonder why certain things never worked out? How many times did you feel invisible, as if no one could see the potential inside you? That wasn't by accident. You were being shielded, protected from places and people who weren't ready to handle your greatness. But now, the veil is being lifted. The things that were hidden from you, the opportunities, the resources, the connections, are about to be fully revealed. And once they are, nothing and no one will be able to take them from you. What was once a mystery will become clear. The waiting will make sense. The struggles will turn into stepping stones toward your greatest season of abundance. Right now, chosen one, you are on the edge of something monumental. This is the shift you've been waiting for. The same people who overlooked you will have no choice but to acknowledge you. The same places that rejected you will now extend an invitation. But here's the most powerful part. This time, you won't have to beg for access. The doors will open on their own. You won't have to chase opportunities. They will come to you. What was once locked is now being released, and no force on earth can close what God has declared open. Prepare yourself, because the blessings coming your way will not be ordinary. They will be supernatural. They will be bigger, wider, and more powerful than you ever expected. The things that were once hidden in the shadows are about to be placed directly in your path, and you won't have to question whether they are meant for you. You will know without a doubt that this is your divine moment. The shift is here. The door is opening. Get ready to step into everything that was once out of reach, because now nothing can stop you. Your enemies thought they won, but they only positioned you for a supernatural breakthrough. They celebrated too soon. They whispered behind your back, convinced that they had successfully shut you out. They believed they had the final say over your destiny, thinking that their rejection, betrayal, and deception would be enough to keep you down forever. They did everything in their power to block your progress, to make you feel unworthy, to ensure that you never reached the level of success you were destined for. But what they didn't realize is that they were never in control. They were simply playing a role in a divine plan that was already written. Their attempts to stop you didn't bury you. They positioned you for a breakthrough so massive that it will leave them in complete shock. Chosen one, do you see it now? Every betrayal, every rejection, every door they slammed in your face was not a sign of your failure, but a setup for something greater. They thought they had defeated you when they walked away, but what they really did was clear the path for your elevation. The setbacks you endured were not obstacles, they were launching pads. The very moments that seemed like the end were actually the beginning of something supernatural. What looked like a loss was a divine redirection, ensuring that you stepped into a place that no enemy could touch. The people who plotted against you unknowingly helped push you toward the exact position where your breakthrough was destined to happen. They underestimated the power of divine timing. They thought they could delay your rise, but all they did was make it even more spectacular. They assumed their rejection would crush you, but instead, it made you stronger, more resilient, and more aligned with your true purpose. And now, the time of waiting is over. The season of delay is finished. The same doors they tried to lock are about to be forced open in a way that no human hand can control. The supernatural shift that is taking place right now is bigger than anything they could have ever anticipated. What was once blocked is being cleared. The access they denied you is now being granted with divine approval. And here's the most powerful part. When this breakthrough happens, it won't just be a small victory. It will be undeniable. The blessings coming your way will be so overwhelming, so extraordinary, that even your enemies will have to admit that God's hand is on your life. They will have no choice but to witness your rise. They will see you walk through doors they never thought you would enter. They will watch as everything they tried to take from you is restored tenfold. And there will be nothing they can do to stop it. So stand firm, chosen one. Every attack, every betrayal, every rejection was only fuel for the supernatural breakthrough that is now unfolding in your life. The door they tried to close is about to open wider than ever before, and this time it will never be shut again. Get ready, because your enemies didn't win. They only prepared you for the greatest elevation of your life. You've been patient, you've endured the trials, and now heaven is stepping in on your behalf. For so long, you have walked a path filled with trials, setbacks, and unanswered prayers. You have watched doors close before you, opportunities slip away, and people turn their backs on you when you needed them most. You have questioned why your journey has been so difficult, why every step forward seems to come with resistance. But chosen one, your patience has not been in vain. Every tear you shed, every battle you fought, every hardship you endured was seen by divine forces. And now the heavens are moving on your behalf. What once seemed impossible is about to become inevitable. What was once delayed is about to be released. The waiting season is over, and the breakthrough you have been preparing for is finally here. You see, patience is not just about waiting, it is about trusting. And you, chosen one, have held on to faith even when the odds were against you. You could have given up when the struggles became overwhelming, but you didn't. You could have lost hope when rejection kept knocking at your door, but you didn't. Even when no one saw your pain, even when no one believed in your dreams, you kept going. And because of that, divine intervention is now in motion. The very forces of heaven are shifting things in your favor, realigning your path, and making sure that no human hand can block what is meant for you. Think about it. Every great blessing comes after a season of testing. And you have endured the tests. You have proven your resilience, your faith, and your commitment to your purpose. Now, it is time for heaven to step in and reward you in ways you never imagined. The doors that once remained shut will open effortlessly. The opportunities that once seemed unreachable will suddenly be placed before you. And this time, you won't have to force anything. It will flow naturally because it is divinely appointed. Chosen one, this is your moment. Everything you have been through was preparing you for what is coming next. The struggles refined you, the delays built your strength, and the setbacks positioned you for a comeback that will be undeniable. And now, heaven is making its move. The blessings that were stored up for you are being released. The doors that were locked are swinging open with supernatural force. What was once withheld is now being poured into your life abundantly, overwhelmingly, and undeniably. Get ready, chosen one. You have been patient, you have endured, and now heaven is stepping in. The season of struggle is ending, and the season of supernatural favor is beginning. The door they closed on you is about to open wider than ever before. This time, nothing will stand in your way. The connections, resources, and opportunities you thought were lost will return multiplied. There was a time when you believed that everything you needed was slipping away. You worked hard, invested your time, gave your energy, and trusted the process, only to watch as doors closed, people walked away, and opportunities vanished before your eyes. It felt like loss. It felt like failure. But chosen one, what seemed lost was never truly gone. It was only being held back for the right moment, for a divine release that would not just restore what you had, but multiply it in ways you never imagined. You see, God never takes without the intention to give back greater. Those connections that faded, the relationships that ended, the financial opportunities that disappeared, they were not lost, they were being repositioned. The people who left your life were removed because they couldn't go where you were going. The resources that dried up were preparing you to receive something even larger. You were never being denied, you were being prepared for overflow. And now, the time of divine multiplication has arrived. Everything that seemed stolen, delayed, or blocked is about to return to you in a way that will leave you speechless. Think about it. When you plant a seed, you don't immediately see the harvest. There is a period of waiting, a period where nothing appears to be happening. But underneath the surface, roots are growing, strength is being built, and a foundation is being established. That is what has been happening in your life. The drought you experienced was not a punishment. It was preparation. The isolation you felt was not rejection. It was redirection. And now, your season of harvest has come. The doors that were once shut are about to swing open, and this time you will not just receive what was lost, you will receive more than you ever expected. Chosen one, the restoration that is coming is supernatural. The right connections will find you. The resources you need will be placed in your hands. The opportunities that you thought had passed you by will come back even better, with greater rewards and with divine favor backing them. And when this happens, those who doubted you, those who thought you had lost everything, will have no choice but to witness your rise. They will see firsthand that nothing was ever taken from you, only multiplied for the perfect moment. You are walking into an open season. Favor, abundance, and elevation are now chasing you. The struggle is over. The days of waiting, wondering, and hoping for a breakthrough are coming to an end. Chosen one, you are stepping into a season where doors will not only open for you, but they will open so wide that nothing and no one will be able to close them again. You have endured the trials, remained faithful through the storms, and continued to press forward even when everything seemed to be against you. And now, favor is chasing you down. The things you used to pray for are about to become your reality. The opportunities you thought were out of reach are suddenly within your grasp. You are not just walking into a new season, you are walking into an open season, where divine favor, unstoppable abundance, and supernatural elevation will overflow in your life. Think about all the times you struggled to make things happen, when doors remained shut despite your efforts. That was because the right season had not yet arrived. But now, something powerful is shifting in your favor. The things that once resisted you will now be drawn to you effortlessly. You won't have to beg for opportunities, they will seek you out. You won't have to chase after success, success will chase after you. Everything that was difficult before will now begin to flow with ease. This is the moment when your hard work, patience, and faith will be rewarded in ways that you never imagined. You see, when God opens a door, no one can shut it. When divine favor is upon you, no enemy, no setback, no rejection can block what is meant for you. The same people who tried to shut you out will now be forced to watch as you rise. The same places that once denied you access will now welcome you in with open arms. Your elevation is here. And this isn't just an ordinary promotion, this is supernatural acceleration, lifting you higher than you ever expected, faster than you ever thought possible. Chosen one, this is your time. The struggles of the past were preparing you for this moment. The patience you displayed, the faith you held on to, the endurance you built, it was all leading to this breakthrough. And now, there is no more waiting. The doors are opening, the resources are flowing, and the blessings are being poured out without limitation. This time, no one will be able to close the door because it is divinely secured for you. For too long, you have walked up to doors that seemed promising, only to watch them shut before you could step inside. You have knocked, prayed, and waited, hoping for the right opportunity to come. Yet time and time again, it felt as if something or someone was standing in the way. The disappointment of seeing an open door suddenly close left you questioning, wondering if you were being overlooked, if somehow you were missing your chance. But chosen one, hear this clearly. This time is different. The doors of the past closed because they were never meant to be permanent. The opportunities that slipped away were not meant to sustain you. But now the door that is opening is divinely secured, and no force on earth can shut it. You see, the delays were never denials. The rejections were never a sign that you were forgotten. Every time a door closed in your life, it was for your protection, not your punishment. Those opportunities that didn't work out, the relationships that fell apart, the promotions that never came, they were never meant to hold you. If they had stayed, they would have limited you, kept you in a space that was beneath the destiny designed for you. God was clearing the path, ensuring that when the right door opened, you would never have to question whether it was truly yours. And now, the time has come. The preparation is over. The season of struggle, of striving, of watching doors close in your face, it is finished. The access that is being given to you now is beyond anything you have ever experienced. The opportunity before you is not fleeting, it is permanent. And the best part? No one, not a single person, can take it from you. Your enemies may try to stop it, but they will fail. The people who spoke against you, the ones who counted you out, who laughed when you were struggling, they will be powerless to interfere with what is happening now. This door was not opened by human hands, and that means it cannot be closed by human hands. The favor that is coming into your life is beyond natural. It is supernatural. It is not something that can be revoked, reversed, or undone. It is sealed by divine authority. The same people who tried to shut you out will have no choice but to watch as you walk into a blessing they cannot touch. The same places that rejected you before will now extend an invitation. But this time, you will walk in with power, knowing that you belong there. Chosen one, this is what all the trials have been leading to. The pain, the waiting, the struggles, all of it was preparation. And now you are stepping into a reality where you no longer have to knock on doors because the doors will open on their own. You will not have to beg for opportunities because they will be drawn to you. What once seemed impossible will now happen effortlessly because you have divine approval. The forces that once blocked you have been removed. The obstacles that stood in your way have been dismantled. This time, the door will not just open, it will swing so wide that no one will ever be able to shut it again. Your next move will shock those who doubted you because they never expected you to rise this high. They counted you out. They looked at your struggles, your setbacks, and your quiet seasons of endurance and assumed that you were finished. They whispered behind your back, convinced that you would never recover, never rise, never walk into the greatness that was destined for you. Some of them even celebrated your hardships, thinking that you would stay stuck in the same place forever. But chosen one, what they failed to realize is that God was not done with you. What looked like defeat was only the setup for a supernatural comeback. What seemed like failure was actually divine preparation for a breakthrough so massive that it will leave your enemies in absolute shock. Your next move will not just surprise them, it will leave them speechless. For so long, you have been building in silence. You've been refining your skills, deepening your faith, and strengthening your spirit in ways that no one saw. While they laughed, you were growing. While they dismissed you, you were being positioned. Every setback you endured, every rejection you faced, and every delay you experienced was not a sign of failure. It was fuel for your elevation. And now, it is time for the reveal. The moment has arrived for you to step into a level that no one, not even your biggest doubters, saw coming. What's about to happen in your life is beyond human expectation. It is divine manifestation. The very people who shut doors on you will now watch as bigger doors swing wide open in your favor. The same ones who denied you access will now see you rise to levels they never imagined. Your name will be spoken in rooms they never thought you would enter. The opportunities that were once withheld from you will now flow effortlessly. And this time, it won't be because of human approval. It will be because divine forces have decreed it. When God moves, no enemy, no hater, no jealous spirit can block what is meant for you. Those who once mocked you will now have no choice but to acknowledge that you were chosen all along. And here's the truth. This breakthrough is only the beginning. What is unfolding in your life is not just a momentary success, but a permanent shift. You are stepping into an era where your name, your presence, and your influence will be undeniable. They thought you were at your peak before? They have seen nothing yet. The heights you are about to reach will surpass everything they ever imagined. They will have no choice but to stand back and watch as you rise, higher than ever, stronger than ever, greater than ever. Chosen one, this is your time. Everything they thought would break you has only built you. Everything they did to stop you has only accelerated you. And now, your next move is about to shake the very foundation of their expectations. They never thought you would make it here, but here you are, rising higher than ever before. Get ready, because the elevation you are stepping into will shock the world. The pain of rejection is turning into the joy of divine selection. You were never forgotten. You have carried the weight of rejection for far too long. You have experienced the sting of being overlooked, the ache of being pushed aside, and the silent pain of watching others move forward while you felt stuck. Doors closed in your face, opportunities slipped away, people you trusted turned their backs on you. And in those lonely moments, you may have wondered, did God forget about me? But chosen one, let this truth sink deep into your soul. You were never forgotten. The rejection you faced was never a sign of abandonment, but rather a divine redirection. What felt like loss was actually protection. What seemed like delay was actually preparation. And now, the pain of rejection is transforming into the joy of divine selection. Because what is coming next is something no one can take away from you. Think back to the moments that hurt the most. The times when you tried to fit in, but weren't accepted. The times when you gave your best, yet were still denied. The times when you thought you had finally stepped into your breakthrough, only to have it snatched away. It wasn't because you weren't good enough. It wasn't because you weren't capable. It wasn't because you weren't worthy. It was because you were set apart for something greater. The places that rejected you could never hold the level of greatness you carry. The people who pushed you away were never meant to walk this journey with you. The opportunities that passed you by were too small for what God was preparing for you. You were never forgotten. You were being positioned for something divine. And now, the shift is happening. The very doors that once shut in your face will now open wide, but only the ones that are meant for you. This time, you will not have to beg for acceptance, because divine favor will place you exactly where you belong. This time, you will not have to force your way in, because the right doors will open effortlessly. This is the season where God's selection overrides every human rejection. What was once withheld is now being released. The blessings that were delayed are now pouring in. And this time, there will be no doubt it was meant for you all along. The people who doubted you will be shocked. Those who dismissed you will be left wondering how you rose so high. The very ones who once rejected you will now wish they had treated you differently. But chosen one, this is not about revenge. This is about restoration. You are not walking forward with bitterness. You are stepping into your blessing with joy. What once brought you pain will now bring you the greatest joy, because what you are receiving is bigger than anything you ever imagined. So stand tall. The rejection is over. The waiting is done. The breakthrough is here. You were never forgotten, never overlooked, never abandoned. You were being prepared for a destiny so great that rejection was necessary to protect it. And now, your time has come. Step into the joy of divine selection, because this blessing is yours. God's timing is perfect, and now is the moment everything aligns in your favor. You have waited, you have endured, and you have held on to faith even when it felt like nothing was changing. There were moments when you wondered if you had been forgotten, if the promises spoken over your life would ever come to pass. You watched others step into their blessings, while you remained in a season of waiting, questioning if your time would ever come. But chosen one, hear this now. God's timing is perfect. Every delay had a purpose. Every closed door was protecting you from something beneath your calling. And now, the waiting is over. The moment of divine alignment has arrived, and everything is shifting in your favor. Looking back, you may not have understood why things didn't happen sooner. You may have felt frustrated, even defeated, watching opportunities slip through your fingers. But what you couldn't see was that behind the scenes, everything was being orchestrated for your highest good. If the breakthrough had come before you were ready, you wouldn't have been able to sustain it. If certain people had remained in your life, they would have sabotaged the blessings meant for you. If some doors had opened too soon, they would have led you down paths that were never part of your destiny. What felt like delays were actually divine setups, preparing you, refining you, and aligning you for this very moment. And now, chosen one, the shift is here. The things that once seemed impossible are now within reach. The opportunities that once evaded you are now chasing after you. The favor that once seemed distant is now resting upon your life. This is not by chance. This is divine timing in full effect. Every piece of the puzzle is coming together. Every prayer you have whispered, every tear you have shed, every trial you have overcome, it has all been leading to this. You are stepping into a season where everything will begin to flow, not by force, but by divine orchestration. Those who once doubted you will wonder how everything is happening so quickly. The same people who overlooked you will be shocked at the level of elevation you are about to experience. But they don't understand that this is God's perfect plan unfolding right on time. No man can take credit for what is happening in your life. No enemy can block what has already been set in motion. What is meant for you will not pass you by, because it has always been reserved for this exact moment. Chosen one, this is your time. The struggle was not in vain. The waiting was never wasted. Everything you have been through was necessary to prepare you for the magnitude of this blessing. And now, you are walking into a season where everything aligns: your purpose, your opportunities, your favor, and your destiny. Get ready, because what's coming next will be greater than anything you ever imagined. The door is open, the time is now, and nothing can stop what has already been ordained in your favor. Stand firm, chosen one. The doors they tried to close on you will open even wider, and nothing can stop what's coming next. This is the moment you have been waiting for. The trials, the setbacks, the moments of uncertainty, they were never signs of failure, but stepping stones leading you to something far greater. Every rejection you faced, every delay you endured, and every obstacle you overcame was not meant to break you, but to position you for a breakthrough so powerful that no one will be able to deny it. What's coming next is bigger than what you lost, stronger than what was taken from you, and more permanent than anything that was ever denied to you. They thought they could shut you out forever. But they underestimated the power of divine favor. They believed they had the final say in their destiny, but they forgot that when God commands a blessing, no one can reverse it. The very doors they tried to lock will now open so wide that you won't just walk through them, you will run into a level of abundance, success, and favor that no one can block. Every force that tried to delay you will now be powerless to stop you. The shift has already begun, and nothing can stand in the way of what has been divinely orchestrated for your life. So stand firm, chosen one. No more looking back, no more second-guessing, no more doubting whether you are worthy of this breakthrough. It is already written, it is already secured, and it is already unfolding right before your eyes. Step forward with confidence, because the doors they tried to close will not only open, they will open wider than ever before. Get ready, because what's coming next will exceed every expectation, break every limitation, and prove once and for all that you were destined for greatness.